Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. I am here with Lucinda. We're going to do a review together, and we're looking at the Courage for Life study Bible I have for men and she has for women. So I have the hardcover edition, and both of these are for the Filament edition, so you can scan with your phone and use the Filament app. So basically these are devotionals. They remind me a lot of the He Reads Truth and She Reads Truth series. So I chose the hardcover, and it comes with a little slip cover. And the reason I chose the hardcover is because I like that lion. It is pretty. It's also available in paperback with the same lion, and then also in imitation with a stylized lion. But I like this one the best, so I decided to go with that one. And then it's got a scripture on the back. I've got this dust cover. Now if we take the dust cover off, it looks the same underneath. And there's hers.
The women's study Bible, I have the aqua blue leather-like brushed with the paint abstract print. This is also available in the leather-like with what they call a fierce pink, which has some pink and orangey pink and yellow kind of blended together, or in hardcover or paperback with a navy, off-white, and an orangey pink swirled together on it.
Some of the content in them are the same, but the design is different between them. So here's what the men's looks like inside, and then the women's has different designs behind the Bible studies and different colors. They get more color than we do. What's up with that? We get the same color all the way through.
And the women's changes from section to section.
They got fancier fonts too. Elegant font, where ours is more of just a good bold font. All right, so what we have here, 30 GSM paper, I think, and they both come with a bookmark. I like the bookmark. And it, spells courage. The idea of these Bibles is to build courage. That's the point. And let's go through real quick the content. The 30 GSM paper is very opaque for how thick it is. Let's see. There's the information. It is printed in China. And here's all the content, steps you through. In the front, we've got some information. The books of the Bible, the Filament app information, the introduction to the NLT, because this is the New Living Translation from Tyndale. Then we have an introduction to the Bible, to this Bible, Courage for Life. And then this goes through the information about the kind of content that's in it, and then includes some good study information. Inductive Bible study method. So the point of this is inductive study. And then it has basic Bible study steps, and it uses pray, observe, interpret, and apply. And then here's the same pages in the women's edition, which is purple paper.
There's the introduction, need for courage in the Bible steps, and then how to use the Courage for Life study Bible for women. The one in the women's, this part is slightly different from the men's. One of the things is it explains why this one uses Abba Father at the beginning of the prayers, where this one only uses Father.
And that's in the Bible studies. Other than that, the Bible studies are the same. And then we get into the Old Testament. And then first we start with an Old Testament introduction. Short introduction. We have a similar one for the New Testament. And it just talks about what the Testament is, and then gives 4 divisions. And it does the same for the New Testament. We'll see that as we go. And then a book introduction. The book introduction talks about who the author is, who the audience was, when it was written, where the events take place, what is happening, why it was written, who should read it, and then some dividing it into the main parts. And then it also has a timeline. The timeline is placed on the other page with the Bible text. Then the timeline just gives you the main points. And then our Bible text is 8.5 points, something like that. And it's in double column paragraph. And then, as you can see, it has a poetic setting. So all of the NLT layout format is here. And then we have 2 columns, but then there's a third column in the outer margin, 1.5 inches, that's lined for notes. And the idea is that this is an inductive study Bible, so that you make notes in here. Some pages at the top of the outer margin has listen to the word. Since this is a filament edition, if you scan that page number, then it will bring up the Filament app where you can listen to something for that page. And it just gives you some information about what to listen to. The bottom of the page has a Bible study, and then it gives you the title, and then the references, and then pray, observe, interpret, and then apply. And this is on every single, almost every page. It looks a little different in the women's, but it is the same information, except for where the men says Father, the women says Abba, Father.
And all of these listen to the words talk about you rejecting some worldly lie and using the Bible to define your truth instead.
So here's a little bit another page with the outer margin on both sides. Not every page has listen to the word, so you're going to have some pages that have a lot more space. And then we have men and women. The men's edition has men, biographies, and talks about things that they've faced and things along that line, and then gives you some encouragement and some other things to read. The women's has women.
And these can be men or women of the Bible or men or women through history that have tried to live a Christian life.
These are black letter editions, so let's get over here to the New Testament. Before we get that far, though, I want to show you the New Testament introduction. So there's the introduction to the New Testament. And it follows along the same way as the Old Testament, just gives you information about what it is. This one focuses on the good news and then gives you 4 divisions. Then the women's is the same information but a different color. And then here is the New Testament in black letter. Now the people are not always from the Bible like this one. There are lots of people. We'll see a list here in just a little bit. Here's William Tyndale. I'm grateful for William Tyndale, and I like that he's included in here.
These do have the same pagination, so that Matthew 1 or 1 Timothy 5 is on the exact same page. Like I'm at
She's at 1526. I will go to 1526.
And that is
1 Timothy 6. 1 Timothy 5, 1 Timothy 6, they're exactly the same. Pagination's identical. I don't think it was printed with line matching. It doesn't seem to be. There's a lot of lines that do match, but then there's a lot that you can see through the other side of the page where the text doesn't quite line up, like right here.
Yeah.
It's mostly only noticeable, though, in the poetic settings. Well, sometimes you'll see it in the regular text where the section heading doesn't quite line up. It's not terrible, though. It still doesn't have a lot of show-through. I'm guessing on the GSM of the paper, but it does seem to be around 30. And in the back, we have a glossary of theological terms. And then there's in the women's edition. Same thing, it's just a different color. And this includes a lot of the words that we hear all the time, but we don't necessarily know what they mean, or it's not really explained. So this just goes through and gives you what the explanations are. Now, sometimes they're words from the Bible, sometimes they're not. They're just common words that are used. Then we have a Courage for Life topical index. This is one of my favorite tools in this Bible. You just look up the topic you're looking for, and then it gives you the Bible study. And that's the title that's found at the bottom of the page, and then the range of scriptures that it's used, and then the page number. Now, the topics themselves are things that help you build courage.
And live an overcoming life.
There are a lot of topics. And then Courageous Men of Faith Index. And then, of course, this is only found in the men's edition, and it includes a lot of people in here. C.S. Lewis, Isaiah, Paul, lots of people in here. William Booth, William Tyndale. So people that are in the Bible, and then people that are not. John Newton, John Wesley, Isaac Newton.
The
And then
index is alphabetical using first names and titles like Queen Elizabeth and Queen of Sheba are under Q. And Kathy Lee Gifford is under K instead of G.
Yeah, so they could be a little bit difficult to find. Depends on how you want to look for them. And then Life Application, Life Topics Index. This is different from the other topical index. This one does not give you the topics necessarily where you're going to study them on the pages of the scripture. It just gives you some information and then prints verses. Sometimes verses in full. And then it also gives you some extra information with just information to look up things. It's a good index. It's a little different from the other index. But it also covers kind of the same sort of information too. Just in a different way. I think maybe they could have been combined, but I can also see why they wanted to leave them separate because it is a different kind of index. Then a page for notes, and then we have our Bible maps. These are on non-glossy paper with thick pages. These are good maps. I like these. Now, a lot of the other Tyndale reference Bibles and study Bibles that include the Filament app, instead of maps, they have maps and charts. These just have the maps, but there are a lot of them. They're good maps. Good and colorful, easy to read. It does not include an index. I like to see an index. Still, these are good maps. So that's a quick look at this one. So let's take a look at the size and weight. The hardcover is 6 3/4 by 9 1/2 by 1 1/2, and then the imitation leather is 6 7/8 by 9 1/2 by 1 1/2. Imitation leather is 2 pounds 14.9 ounces. Then the hardcover, 3 pounds 3 ounces. It's a little bit of difference there. So that is our quick look at the Courage for Life Study Bible for men and for women. Seem to be pretty good study Bibles. It reminds me a lot of the He Reads Truth and the She Reads Truth series. Just kind of an NLT version of those. And what I like is that it's inductive, so that it provides space for notes. They mean for you to write in this. They mean for you to study from it. And it does seem to have a lot of topics that work for building courage. And I like that it includes men inside and outside of the Bible. What do you think?
I like them. I think it's a very good also for helping people to get their mindset more in a Christian way of thinking, like replacing the worldly lies with the truth of the Bible, and for helping people deal with their guilt or other issues over things they've done, helping them live better, but also get rid of some of their negative problems from some of the bad they've done.
Makes sense. So Tyndale did supply these in exchange for an honest review, and that is our honest review. So I'll place links in the notes so that you can make a purchase if you're interested. Also links to BibleBuyingGuide.com so you can see the written review where we always go into more detail. If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching.